If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description. It's Only Me. Lil Baby's new record is dropping in just 5-6 hours at the point of recording this, and y'all know I'm usually not someone that listens to a whole bunch of leaks before albums drop. In Baby's case, I've kind of allowed myself to do this on a couple of occasions because there's just so much unreleased stuff out there that we never got to see, and that never saw the light of day. So with Baby, it's somewhat of an exception, also because he makes so much music. It's not up there with a Juice WRLD, but also really not far off. And so I listened to some leaks off of this new record, at least that are supposed to be on here. And I gotta tell y'all, I just dropped a video actually talking about I'm worried about this album. I gotta take that back at least a little bit. We're gonna jump into why. Let's break this down. So as I said, I just dropped a video talking about why I'm worried about this new album. And it was mainly also because of the new singles, the Detox single, that was really not it, and that also wasn't perceived as well, to the point that Baby didn't even put it on the album. And the other single, Hey, that is still kind of running up some numbers, but that's also not a huge trend. I saw he was kind of trying to start a trend with this one, with the waving Hey, somewhat of the same long lines he used to do with Whoa. So Whoa was the one in late 2019 for My Turn that went huge. This didn't go as huge as Whoa, but it still at least created somewhat of a movement. And judging from those singles, I was like, okay, if he's gonna go solo for the majority of the album, which he is, he only got 7 features on 23 tracks, so 16 tracks is completely just him solo. I was like, maybe people will get a bit bored because the 2 singles that were solo so far weren't perceived that well. I like him, I'm a Baby fan, I like the singles, but people are not gonna like him too much, and that's why realistically he's probably also not gonna sell as much as, for example, he did with My Turn. But I went over all of that in that other video, so make sure you go watch that. Let's jump into the leaks though. I listened to them, at least a couple of them, of course not all of them, but let's break this down because there's so much to talk about. So first of all, there's a pretty long video up on YouTube which has a lot of views. That is basically all the leaks combined that you can listen to. I recommend, if you're into them, go check out this video. There's still some old stuff on there, like the Chris Brown Addicted single that still made it on there, which obviously we already got on Chris Brown's Breezy album, but still a majority of the stuff is still unreleased, and we will likely see a lot of that also on It's Only Me. There's also a track with Future, for example, on there that could be the new one that is called From Now On, that is on It's Only Me, even though that is not confirmed because in the snippet they don't mention From Now On, the term. So that could still be up in the air. But that video is out there, and that includes some of the most important leaks, obviously. But there's also a couple of other sources that we can go from. For example, there are still a bunch of leaks out there that we just haven't really gotten over the past couple of years. For example, Still With It is one that people are going crazy for. It has almost 1 million views on YouTube and is unreleased. So that is a big one, but one of my favorite ones, the one that I'm probably the most excited for, now I'm not sure if this is going to be on the new album, It's Only Me, under a different title, but it's a leak called Wish You the Best. I think that's the Baby that I like the most, that is still going hard, but on more of a mellow beat that sounds very dramatic. It reminds me of some 2018 street gossip type stuff, like Dreams to Reality, probably my favorite Baby song, or We Get For the Close Friends type of thing, but that is huge. But I'm talking about those type of vibes on there. So Wish You the Best, amazing snippet. If you haven't yet, make sure you go listen to it, or if you haven't, make sure you wait till the album is out, see if that leak is on there, and if it's not, come back and listen to the unreleased version. It's definitely worth it. Amazing song. I hope someday it gets released. There's also a couple of other things that we can go off. For example, with the video that he dropped with the announcement of the track list, because a couple of days ago when he released the track list, he also dropped it with a little snippet, a video, and in that video we can also hear an instrumental, and that instrumental is also sounding very mellow, very low key, but as I just said, that's the Baby that I like the most. So I'm hoping that he has more of those types of beats and instrumentals on It's Only Me. Stuff like Wish You the Best, and that's more like him pouring a little bit of his heart out, if you know what I'm saying. Like you'll know the tracks that I'm talking about. So that is also there. Make sure you go check out that video on Instagram to kind of get hyped for the album, because I like that instrumental quite a bit and I want to see which track it is. And now routing this back to me having worries about this album, I'm still worried that it's not going to do as well as, for example, My Turn. But it's kind of like, after listening to a couple of those leaks, I just did it like I finished the video and I went on YouTube. I just looked up a couple of them because I'm waiting for the album to drop. We're also doing a live listening party, by the way, so make sure you tune into that, tomorrow on Twitch after the album drops. It's going to be 7 a.m. EST, so make sure you jump in right there. Follow me on Twitch. All the infos are on my YouTube community tab in a post. I hope to see y'all there. But I was just like, I'm waiting for the album to drop and I want to see what like unreleased stuff there is out there. And I came across the ones that I just talked about. And I mean, I heard Wish You the Best before, still, crazy leak. And now in the context of this new album, I hope it's going to make it on there. I hope it's a cut on there. But I listened to him and I was like, okay, actually this kind of plays down my fears a little bit, because even if it isn't received commercially very well, we still got these amazing tracks. We still got those deep cuts, the Baby deep cuts are always the best ones. Like, for example, on My Turn, like Consistent or Hurting, for example, were amazing tracks that never got a lot of attention by the mainstream. So those tracks are the ones that I'm looking forward to the most. And if all the tracks sound like the leaks, I would be happy. Even if the album doesn't sell as much as My Turn, I would be happy. Even if people don't like it, I'm happy with those. So that's kind of like what calmed my fears a little bit. It's so like overblown to talk about fears, but that's my worries a little bit about the commercial performance of this album. I also want to mention that, I was kind of worried in the last two singles, so Detox and Hey that I already talked about, he was very much mumbling. Like the first time listening to the songs, I did not pick out every word, and that is not bad at all. But sometimes when you can really hear what Baby is saying on tracks, for example, like Emotionally Scarred, it really hits different. When you really like, okay, this dude is like really like into it, he's going hard, he's sacrificing a lot, those cuts hit different. And on the leaks that I listened to, it was the Baby again, like trying to pour out his heart. And there were also records of him saying that he wrote this album, like he actually wrote it wrote it down, the lyrics. He learned that like by working with Drake, instead of freestyling everything, and that's the main difference. I talked about that quite a lot in the past as well. So maybe we're gonna see more of that, while the two singles that he released to promote this album were maybe just a little bit like fun and turn up to kind of hype it up a little bit. And we're gonna see more heartfelt, actually written verses and written songs on this album. I would be really happy about that, because I think that's when Baby's at his best. And I hope that we can see more of that. But yeah, that's me listening to the leaks and kind of like going over them. I'm excited for this. It's only a couple of hours until it drops. As I said, we're gonna go live on Twitch tomorrow listening to this album. First reaction, first everything. So if you want to be part of that, please make sure to follow me on Twitch. As I said, all the details on my community tab. But for now, let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about the leaks. Have you listened to them? I really recommend, even if you don't want to listen to any of the other leaks, listen to Wish You the Best. It's amazing. And let me know what you thought about it. If you listen to it, if you listen to the same video or the same sources that I listened to, and what you thought about them. If you have the same worries as me, also watch that other video that I dropped on it, as I said, only a couple of minutes or hour ago. And I hope y'all are also hyped for this. So all of your thoughts on this, on the leaks, on everything, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.